good afternoon or happy time zone, depending on when you're joining. We're back with the Ice Dragon, basically. It feels like ages since I painted it, but it was only a week. Yeah, maybe we can finish this guy off today. So that's what I'm gonna do. From the base, which is possibly a bold move, but we'll see how it plays out. And we're just putting a heavy dry brush down with some grey. Morning, indeed. I hope you're well, Indy. Yeah, today we're painting dragons again because I was having fun with this one, and I kind of want to get it finished. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. If it's nice and chill. So dinner and loving fishing. Nice. That sounds really good. I after stream, my plan is to basically set up a garden. I'm going to be gardening all weekend. I'm gonna do the first few steps on building my veggie garden. So I'm gonna be putting together a little greenhouse that's gonna sit on my balcony, and then planting the first few things. The first few plants and stuff are going out. Perfect because it's overcast. It's a little rainy, and as we all know from Stardew Valley, a little bit rainy days are the best days to plant, so you don't have to water them. It's gonna be a nice chill weekend, I think. Which I think is always a good thing. I don't know, I might be wrong, but feels like you can't go too far wrong with a relaxed weekend. So, coming up here first. And all I'm doing is just picking out the horns and stuff in kind of a darker greenish blue colour. Just to make them stand out a bit. Thunderhawk blue for those interested in the color I'm using right now. But yeah, today is when my Hobbit mode really starts kicking in. I'll be planting things like potatoes and carrots, and might be a little bit early to start planting out salad stuff, but I have the seeds ready. I'm really excited to actually get things in the ground and start having fun with that. And then I'm gonna start on also sorting things out for things like YouTube, because I know I missed an upload this week. That was due to technical issues and then running out of time to fix them. So I'll fix those and there'll be an upload tomorrow. That'll be probably part 1 of this that I'll do that. What else? And I think I'm gonna stick with a 3-day-a-week schedule for the foreseeable future. I did try to do 4 last week. It didn't work out, and I'm annoyed with myself for not being able to do it, but unfortunately, you know, we're all only human, right? So I think I'm going to keep to the 3-day-a-week schedule for the time being, until I can get a little bit back on my feet, or get a little bit more free time in the evenings. Whichever comes first. Yeah, lots of things I've been working at now. I feel like now that my partner's birthday have passed, and you know, things are settling back down into regular routines, I've got a bit more time to think. I can think a little bit more clearly. So having a little bit more mental bandwidth to do things is nice. To actually work stuff out. Some horns and spines coming in. All looking good, I think. Nice rain this afternoon. Oh, that's great, Indy. That's really good to hear. And I know it's been really, really hot over there, hasn't it? And like hot and humid and kind of gross. I'm glad you guys have got rain now. Hopefully it's made it a bit more comfortable temperature-wise and a little bit less humid and tiring. The heat can be really draining. Basically over till November. So weird. Whenever I get reminded of it, the flip between UK and Australia seasons always throws me off. Because here, we're just going into spring. So March is kind of like the very, very, very beginning of spring. Still kind of a little bit wintry some days, but we're just kind of rolling into it. And November would be the start of winter for us. So, you know, it's a little bit jarring to be like, oh yeah, summer in November. What? November's cold and wintry and rainy. When you start getting frost. Yeah. I don't know. I know it. I know it's a thing, but it always kind of surprises me when talk about the difference in seasons in different hemispheres of the world. No, you're true. It generally is kind of grey over here. Although apparently our summers can now get up to 40 degrees, which is not fun. I really hope that was just a freak weather pattern for last year. But if it gets that warm again, I am not going to be happy. I mean, like, fuck this. I want to move somewhere where the heat actually makes sense. But yeah, generally it's very mild. Like, you know, think about sort of, say, between 10 and 20 degrees. Maybe 25 on warm summers. That's our sort of temperature range. Maybe dips below 0 in the middle of winter. Which is why it's great for growing plants. And why I can start planting when, you know, it's still pretty early in the year. But at the same time, does mean you don't get a lot of sunlight, a lot of warm weather activities are not really an option. You know. Plenty of rain though. Got the opposite problem. Here we have to worry about overwatering stuff rather than underwatering stuff. Weather is one of the few things I don't mind about the UK. I like the rain. I really love the rain, actually. I find it very calming. And it's good weather for plants, which is great for me. Because I like green spaces with lots of plants and things that grow. Decided I think this afternoon is going to be Lord of the Rings and planting and gardening all afternoon. I'm going to go full Hobbit mode. Doing a garden, making some homemade food. Watching Lord of the Rings. Times. Excited because I'm hopefully gonna hear about a new job soon, and having a new day job will just make my life so much better. So I'm keeping my fingers metaphorically crossed for good news on that front. We'll see how everything goes. Yeah, lots to be excited about. So if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm adding basically some details onto the scales themselves to add a little bit of variety to the actual appearance. And this will just kind of make it so it doesn't look like one flat wash of dark blue when the when the final model is done. Because I went with quite a dark base colour. There's a risk it'll just look like one dark blob and it'll be all boring. So adding these details like this onto scales along the body, legs, and everywhere else will just kind of make it look a little bit more interesting. Because I'll pick up any inks or any contrast paints that I use, and they'll react differently to the base colour. This particular paint goes a very vibrant royal blue colour, which is gorgeous. And will look great with the dark blue as a backdrop. So that's going to be a really nice pop of colour. And it will look natural-ish. I hope. Just gonna try and keep it mostly dark. I think I'm gonna use purple in areas like the wings, just to give it a little bit of variety of colour, otherwise it's gonna look weird. I'll get to that later on. I'll work on tidying up this back fin and tail area that is just kind of been left. First I'm going to take some white and just redefine fin versus not fin areas. This will just make it look a lot tidier. Because I'm not going to do a blend in, because sometimes it's okay if you're blending the colour of the scales into a different area. But in this case, because I'm going to do the colours quite separate, I don't want any overspill from the main body. So I want that to look clean and defined. At least in theory. We'll see how it works out. Alrighty. And just here. Trying to kind of establish a boundary between the two parts. And it has the added benefit of adding a bit of brightness on the fin. So then I can layer colours over the top and it'll just look a little bit brighter and a bit more vibrant. This is a slightly brighter shade of white that I'm using than the one I used as a primer. 2-for-1 painting benefits. Just working my way steadily down the body. Sometimes easier to go sort of down one side and up the other rather than trying to do both sides as you move down the body. Which is how I'm working today. It doesn't make a huge difference if you decide to do left side, right side, move down. To make sure it kind of follows the contours of any scales and things like that are close to the edge. So we've still got that boundary, but it's not just a straight ruler line kind of thing. Yeah, with primer's a little thin. Just making sure I go right the way to the edge of the fin here. So you can see what I mean on the camera. It's not blurring out too much. Alright, let's slide one. I think. Just tidying up a little bit up here. My finger removed half of the paint that I'd put on already. And then we flip. And we do the other side. You can see the tail. Got it quite badly on this side. That is the beauty of painting. You can just add a layer over any mistakes. Happy little accidents. You can probably see I'm loading my brush up quite heavily, just because I know I've got a long way to go on it. I've spilled a little bit onto the scales there, but that's fine. That is because I put too much paint on my brush. Paint there. It's basically just rinse and repeat all the way up the tail. Again, doing the same sort of techniques that I was doing on the way. focusing mostly on the boundary between the tail and the fin. Trying to follow the contours of any of the scales that are close to the boundary. Trying not to lose my voice. Just moving up the fin still. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. It's a bit of an awkward point because a lot of it is hidden by the wings. It's literally just the same sort of technique. Moving along the that would have been bad if that was in the wrong place. Moving along the ridge here, following the scales, like the pattern that they leave. And I'm just sort of dragging the paint away from the body in that sort of direction. Trying not to overspill white onto dark blue, which I'm having mixed success with that. Might be easier if I do this. Nope, definitely not. There we go. Don't know how well you can see it. And this is where doing models and sub-assemblies definitely wins the argument. The age-old argument of how should you paint your models. Because for larger models, I definitely say sub-assemblies is the way forward. Trying to paint around things like the wings on this model. It covers such a big portion of the back and the tail spine, and just actually painting the underside of the wings themselves is such a big challenge when you're having to work around all these corners. And yeah, if I had the choice, I would not have painted this assembled. But it was given to me pre-assembled, so take what I work. I work with what I get. Plus side is made it all the way back up to the head. And back again. Paintbrush story. And again, just tidying up a few bits that I missed last week when I was doing the wings. We just want those clean, defined lines between the different sections. How long are you gonna paint? And I want to make sure that this white goes all the way to the tips. Tips of the wings, tips of the tail. Okay. Alright. I'm happy with that so far. Next step. I think I'm going to work on the face a little bit. Let's get all this built up paint on my brush first. I'm actually going to switch to a smaller brush as well. A little bit more fine detail here. You got this lovely open mouth area. Which of course means lots of detail. So I thought about doing like a crazy colour for it, like a purple or something, but I feel like that might be a little too fantastical. And a lot of the art that you see for dragons, they kind of weirdly we will always seem to gravitate towards dragons with, I don't know, flesh tone mouth. So kind of went with that. Even though I'm not strictly using any one piece of artwork or reference, I'm sort of drawing from a lot of different pieces that I've seen over time to kind of try and guide me on which colours to use where, kind of thing. So just kind of going with what I'm used to seeing, which is very sort of fleshy colours here. And again, this will help kind of tidy up the area a little bit, mask any overspilling. Just define the mouth, the jaw, and all that. I'm just starting off with a layer of a very kind of dark, almost reddish pink. It looks a lot pinker on the white primer, which is not a problem. Kind of running this as the base for the mouth area. This is kind of the foundational color. And add some highlights in there. Wash it down, make it seem a bit less aggressively pink. So we'll tone it down a little bit so it's maybe a bit more, maybe add some brown washes or flesh tone over the top so it's a little bit less aggressive. But we'll start with this and we'll see where we end up. And I'm using the very fine detail brush just to get in between all the teeth and all that sort of thing. Make sure I actually get that color where it needs to go. Get the gums and the inside of the lip. A very eye-catching point in the model. Your eye is very much drawn to the mouth, so I want it to look good. I mean, I'd want it to look good anyway, but you know, especially since it's going to be a focal point. I don't mind spending a little bit of extra time on just getting it right. Yeah, to start with, it's not going to look like much. Here. Give this a bit of a shake so it's actually mixed. This is a highlight color. Yeah, I'm just taking the much lighter pink and I'm going to pick out all of these areas like this that I'm working on here. Again, it's still very pink. It's not quite where I want it to end up, but it's the process. So this will help the sort of more muscular bits stand out from the, you know, like the hard palate and the tongue or anything like that, but different parts. It's committed to having Lalafell Sylvia for the next few weeks. Oh, that's cute, Indy. I love Lalafell. They're just Eorzean hobbits. And they're so cute. Up here. Going for a darker colour. Just as a bit of a base layer because I want that throat to look dark. May just save your oral appearance to go back to you. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. What made you decide to change over to Lalafell for a bit? A moment of anarchy. Hey, we all like a touch of chaos sometimes. Change like that can be good. It'd be fun, Indy. It'd be fun. You get to quite literally experience things from a whole new perspective. And who knows, maybe you'll enjoy it. Not gonna lie, painting individual teeth is not my favorite task. It's worth the effort, but it is not my favorite thing to do when I'm painting minis. I will bite your ankles. Yes. So Hen, welcome in. It's good to see you. How you doing? Bite your toes. Not you, Hen. Anyone who's mean to friends. Bite their toes off. Hen's never mean. They had a warm shower. Oh, that sounds so good. That sounds amazing, Hen. I love days like that. You wake up when you want to. Have a long, lazy shower. Get nice and warm and comfy. So good. Alright. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay, thank you. I'm tired. Because I went to bed late and woke up early. But yeah, I'm looking forward to my afternoon. I'm gonna be doing some gardening. I'm gonna be actually making my garden on the balcony because I don't have any green space. I'm gonna be doing some cooking. I'm gonna probably watch something like Lord of the Rings to keep me company. My partner's out with friends today, so it's just me till the evening. But in the meantime, painting dragons with Skyrim music because it felt appropriate. And when I say dragons, I mean one big dragon, not lots of little dragons this time. Just I've just put some ink washes in there just to kind of set the colours a little bit better. And once that layer of inks is dried, I might go back in and do a little bit of extra detail. Greysword is bigger than your character. I love that. So I'm inking in some, well, not inking, marking in some green eyes I'm not going to fully do them yet because I'm going to paint around them. And I'll probably need some extra space and whatnot, but just having them marked in is going to really help. The next step. Tidying up around the edge here. So just where any pink's overspilled. Going back in, tidying up the edges. Like I said, the mouth is kind of an area where I'm paying special attention. Because that's where a lot of the attention goes when you first look at the model. I want it to look good. I'm hoping I can finish this guy today. I don't know. Though, because it's one of those models that I keep looking at and realizing I've got a lot to do still. I'm looking forward to some more normal days. I was saying earlier. I've had a lot of very hectic and unsettled, off routine kind of days. And I kind of, as boring as it sounds, I do better when I'm in a regular routine, not too heavily overworked. So I'm looking forward to sort of settling back down to normality a bit. I'm just thinking, I don't think I've had a single week this year where I've not had just a bunch of nonsense kick off. It's March. I've had 2 solid months of just nonsense. I'm determined not to make it 3. He's a spiky boy, this one. A lot of spikes growing. Time to get some color on the wing membranes. I'm putting it off slightly because I don't know if it's the right thing to do for these. Whether I should just leave the wings white, but I think having some color will be better. I just know it's going to be a very tedious repainting job if I have to repaint them because I don't like the color. So I'm kind of trying to work out what my best option is. Actually, I need to shake this up a bit. All right, wings time. Time to bite the bullet a little bit. Just making sure there's none of the previous color left on this. So, I know I said originally I was going to do purple. Changed my mind. I've gone with a really light teal kind of a color. Because I feel like the green blue will complement the colors I've got on here better. While still kind of fitting in a bit more. I'm also going to keep the color very pale. Yeah, I'm not trying to build up too much color here, which is harder to do with purples. Purples are great colors to build up and make really intense. I want it to be a light, almost subtle color. So I'm doing that instead. I'm just going to do the top surface of the wings for now. until I've worked a bit more on the underside of the wings. I'm doing these long strokes, trying to avoid crossing over too much. Trying to avoid layering too much of the colour. Because, if nothing else, I don't want it streaky either. Again, it's a challenge with this kind of colour. Contrast paints is very easy to let it go streaky. Is to be patient and try not to layer over your strokes too much, and if you do, try and move the colour while it's still wet. Don't let it dry while it's layered up like that. Once it's dry, it's stuck there, you know. Even rincy brush, go back in with a damp brush and just push it to the edges where you're working. Just looks a lot smoother. Of course, nothing's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm an amateur painter, but these are some tips that I've learned over the years. I think that wing, this wing is going to be a bit streaky, unfortunately. That's the best I can do for now. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I like that blue. It's a very pale blue, a very light colour. It has got some nice green tone in it that kind of makes it stand out a bit more. It doesn't just read as one big blue blob, which is what I want. I want this to look like a blue dragon, not a blob. I'm actually going to take some of the colour off of this wing here. It's pulled a little bit at the edges. I'm going to use it to help me paint this bit. It's also, you know, avoiding using too much paint is usually a good thing. It means your paint pots last longer. Hey, Carax, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good weekend. Yeah. There we go. Sorry, for some reason that one took a little bit more concentration. Nearly done with the top side of the wings. Coffee grinder broke. Boo! You know, barista has connections. Oh, nice. Nice. Well, I mean, if you know you can get a semi-professional one for a bit cheaper, that sounds good to me. I don't currently grind my own coffee. I just don't have the time. I do not have the time to go that level with my coffee yet. I want to in the future, but that's something for the future, you know? Not something I'm able to do right now. I am glad you're not going to be grinderless for too long, because that would suck. Only takes 5 minutes to grind your coffee. That's fair. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know a lot about it, personally. Yeah, I'm still at the stage of using cafetiere and pre-ground and all that sort of thing. I know it makes such a difference to grind your own. I have too much else going on. The methods you're going to be able to cut it in half? Nice. I know people who roast their own beans and things like that as well, and it's something I would love to be able to get into, but not yet. Not yet. So, like we were saying earlier, Friday, I think, on stream. You gotta clear your plate before you add more to it. That's where I'm at right now, with a very full plate of things. But I am glad that your grinder... You're not going to be grinderless for too long. And it sounds like you're getting an upgrade. So that's pretty cool. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Love to be able to roast your beans. Yeah. Like, that's the dream, let's face it. Grow your own beans, roast them on site, grind them, have beautiful homemade coffee until, you know, you decide you don't drink coffee anymore. There's a Canadian streamer that I watched that did a really cool cooking stream on, coffee, basically. Roasting your own coffee, grinding your own beans. And I think she ended up making a coffee cake as well. Like a whole thing. Really cool. Really interesting. And it never even occurred to me that you could roast your own beans at home. The thought had never crossed my mind. And sort of ever since then, it's been on my mind as something to try out. But I don't currently drink enough coffee to justify it because I'm a filthy heathen. And I also drink a lot of tea. Blessing? Well, I mean, maybe. Who knows? You're getting an upgrade, so that's something. That's something of a bright side. Maybe blessing wasn't the right word, but... hopefully it's not all bad. No. Nucleus keyboard, coffee grinder. There's yeah. I get it. This like first quarter for me, it's like the first few months are always bad because it's my own birthday, my partner's birthday, the fallout from Christmas. A lot of my friends' birthdays are around this time of year. It's an expensive time of year for me. I get it. I'm also paying off the computer that I bought recently because my old one was about to die. And cost of living. But either way, I hope it's all worth it. I hope it's all making your life easier or better in some way. I just like laptops. Hey, you passed the survey with 90%? Congratulations. That's awesome. No, I mean, I have a laptop that the community very kindly funded for me. That's because I need to be able to work from home, work from bed some days. So the laptop lets me do that. I do have a work laptop as well. But I put my computers, in general, through a lot of stress and strain. Because I work a lot online. My job is 100% online. So, you know, it was just unlucky timing that my main desktop PC, which is the one that I do most of my work from, gave up right near Christmas. How much stress are you putting it through? Well, my day job involves me being online 10.5 hours in a day. So on a work day, I'll usually do my 10.5 hours of day job work. I can't really go into too much detail about it, but it involves a huge amount of typing and things like that. A huge number of different programs as well, which are not well optimized. I will then stream directly after, usually for 3 to 4 hours. It's just on a lot of the time. And then I've got, regular gaming and learning video editing and photo editing. And yeah, it's a lot of different things. I asked my machines to do a lot of different projects. Yeah, being a one-man business. Yeah, basically the CPU has a small heart attack. And goes, nope, no more, bye-bye. Which is what happened with my last one, especially since I was on one of the early generation i7s, which, whilst not a bad one, was coming up to about 6 or 7 years old on my last PC. And I just couldn't handle the stress anymore. I'm getting a wee bit old for what I needed them to do. But it's all good. My current PC is beautiful. Should hopefully last me a long time. All the good stuff. I'm going to be repurposing my old one into a media a media PC and like a gaming desktop that I can attach to, well, my partner and I can attach to our smart TV so that we can play couch co-op stuff on the sofa. But I need to get a few upgrades or at least replacement parts at some stage. Computer BDSM. What? No. What do you mean computer BDSM? Do I want to know? Is this one of those things that I'm better off not knowing about? I know. There's long-term ongoing stuff that is very much when I get time and money and don't have to worry about other stuff type situation with my old PC. It's not a bad little machine. It's just old and very worn out. Oh, all the social stress. Yeah, okay. Now I get it. Sorry, I got confused. 5 years and it's lived its life. It's true. It's true. Um, it doesn't owe me anything, that's for sure, but I can probably deal with just being an occasional use media center type situation. Get a replacement CPU so it can still actually function. And it would probably be pretty good for a few more years, just as a, like I said, a thing to watch internet videos through and play couch co-op games on the sofa with my partner through. Because I think it's old enough now that most of the components are pretty worthless. But it seems a shame to make them go to waste, you know? I don't want them just ending up on landfill or whatever. Yeah, Dusty 8 games. Yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing, Corix. I'm just going to repurpose it for media and the odd game here and there. Yeah, we're talking like plate up kind of situation, or maybe a racing game, or you know, nothing crazy, nothing too intensive. Yeah. Shovel Knights, Stick Fighter, you know, you know the kind of games I mean, right? They're really like overcooked. That kind of a game. It can basically be run on a 3-year-old laptop. Power outlet, just remove the battery. Yeah, yeah. I took the battery out when I switched to my new machine. Because I did read about that, and I was doing a bit of reading up on, you know, how to make my old machine useful. And that was one of the suggestions that came up. It's finding the time and, you know, the right parts to put in to make it viable. That sort of thing. It'd be a fun little project though. our laptop basically got blue screen, the service didn't do diddly. That sucks. Then the screen died as well. Yeah, I have a very old laptop. We're talking like 10 plus years old. That the same thing happened to. And no one would want to help because it was just too old, and they just kind of went, sorry. Like the keyboard on it just died for no apparent reason, and I am almost certain it was just a loose connector. That someone just needed to crack the laptop open and like reconnect it. But because of the age of the laptop, they just went, meh, buy a new one. I ended up selling it for parts to someone for like 30 quid. I think I still got a good deal out of that. One for backup? There is no harm in having backup. I need to redo the tail at some point. This brush is frayed. There's splashing contrast paint everywhere. When's that died? Oh. Yeah, that's fair. To be fair, at the time I lost the old laptop, I already had a desktop that I was mainly using, so it wasn't really excuse me, it wasn't really a big deal for me to lose the use of a laptop at that point. But yeah, when I got sick last 2019 was when I got ill. Year before last. Year before the year before last. That's when I started sort of losing mobility and things like that, and really needed an option to work from my bed. Which is why I ended up needing a new laptop. Because I couldn't get that old one running again, and it couldn't cope with the stuff that I need it for. But I think getting one laptop every 10 years is not a bad rate. I don't think I'm being too wasteful there. Excuse my bones, I'm just taking a quick stretch break. So I'm not going to be able to get this finished today, unfortunately, because I need to do some stuff that can only be done once the last layer that I just put on is dry, and that is going to take a long time to dry. But I might finish it off stream, because we're pretty close to done. We'll see. I might do a small hobby stream next week. Yeah, a couple of hours or so to finish this guy off instead. Something like that. But I'm gonna get as much of him done today as I can. Made some pretty good progress. This color that I'm painting here is just kind of a very dark blue-gray color to kind of help finish the underbelly a bit, and also to differentiate it a bit from the moon scales, which have got this great intense blue on them. Probably gonna have to go back over these areas as well and add some more differentiating tones to them, but it's a good start here. On the tail as well, all the way down the fin. It's got two impacts really. It splits the belly out from the main scales a bit, so it does make it look different. But it also covers any gaps. These are great at getting into spaces in between fine detail and filling them. And that's kind of what I wanted to do here, is just get rid of any gaps. Any flecks of white primer that was still showing, I wanted to kind of cover. I'm sorry you feel that way. Hope your day gets better. But also welcome in, because I think you're new here. At least I don't think you've chatted before. Okay, give a snow effect. Alright, no worries, Indy. Take it easy. Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I hope you have a lovely day. Catch up with you again soon. One of the last things I'm going to do before I finish up for the night, or for the rest of my day. I'm just going to put some snow effects on the rocks. Because, you know, snow, ice, glacier, that kind of thing. I'm not going to go too heavy on it though, so it's going to be a little bit of a dusting. Some of the crevices. Focusing the snow more on the main base than the decorative bits. There'll be some across the whole. I don't know. It's like an icy pride rock, you know. Thank you for the epic coolest hammer emote ever, Indy. I appreciate it. I'm legitimately considering making that a full-time emote. Hammer boss emote, something like that, you know? Blue paint got onto my texture tool, and now it's in my snow. Just keep out all of the blue snow. It happens though. Just have to be more careful. Oh my goodness, stay put. Please, paint, stay put. So just adding a little bit of texture over some of the surfaces on that, just to make it look a little more believable. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing. I think it might be time for me to take a break. But I think we make good progress on this guy. I think I'm going to finish him off in a little hobby stream later in the week. He does look like a little angry cat there almost, though. Yeah, we got the wings done. We got the main body done. The base is like 99% done. So we kind of just got the bottom of the wings and the tail fin, and then like really fine details to do. So I think there's enough there for an extra stream. So I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter today, just so that I can get a break, because I think I need it. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I am enjoying this one. I'm looking forward to getting them finished now, though. And then next week I'll move on. Next Sunday I'll move on to the project I was talking about on Friday. I'm also going to be sticking with 3 streams a week, sort of a mixture between gaming and hobby, just to kind of not overwork myself too much, because I'm trying this whole work-life balance thing. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourselves, stay safe.